So Andy, in your book, you talk about forget CRM. Everybody knows CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management, and a lot of us have those systems in order to do that. But you talk about something else. Can you explain that for us?
Yeah, we say forget CRM, think MCR, which is about maximising customer relationships. And I'm not knocking CRM systems, but it never fails to amaze me how many people I meet and they go, Andy, we've got this great CRM system. It's going to change our world, and all it is a database with lots of names in it. And maximising customer relationships for us is giving the best to, but getting the best from your customers. And it's developing the relationships with the customers that you want to do that with. I see a lot of businesses that put a lot of effort into the customer service, which is great, but then they don't actually maximise the relationship by getting repeat business, referrals, maybe less emphasis on price. So we actually have a little model which looks at the different relationships that people have got. I don't know if you've experienced this, where I give what you call in a giving relationship, it's the customer that keeps saying, can you just? And that could be because you've done such a great job, they just keep asking you. And at starting point, it's got to be, well, at what point do we say, well, we can, but you need to pay for it, or we need to actually make sure that it's making commercial sense for us. So maximising customer relationships is about giving the best to, but getting the best from the customers that you want.
So let's assume that someone has got a CRM system with the names in, because we need that. How do they then go about starting to look down that list of customers and prospects and talk about how do they measure it? How do they start to look at where they can maximise?
I think starting point for me is working out what does a maximised relationship look like for you in your business. So in terms of, again, it could be in terms of profitability, it could be in terms of type of business, sort of the volumes as well as the type of work that you're actually doing with them. And then actually sort of sitting down and actually working out who are our best customers. What does best look like for us? And I often say best is in speech marks. I worked with one client where we got the sales guys together, came up with this list of best customers. And the FD said, well, why are they best? Well, they spend loads with us. He goes, yeah, but they never pay. And it's not just how much they spend, but do they pay us on time? Do they pay us? Do they develop relationships with us? So best is a starting point for me. That actually might mean, therefore, working out who your worst customers are and maybe saying, no, we don't want to work with those, or we do on these terms. So it's a very subjective thing, but we talk about this whole idea of choose them or lose them, which is about sort of saying it's okay to say no to certain customers if it doesn't make commercial sense and it doesn't actually fit in with your vision about where you want to take your business.
It's really interesting you say that, actually, because one of the things that I always talk about is defining the who of your customers are. And I think the best businesses actually are as aware who their customers aren't and shouldn't be as the ones that they do choose. So how would you go about sort of making sure you're attracting more of the right ones and perhaps losing or not using, not working with some of those ones that you shouldn't have?
The starting point is spelling it out within your own business, being very clear. And again, particularly making sure that everybody in your team is clear. Not many salespeople are encouraged to go out and say no. So a starting point is this whole idea of working out who our best customers are. Then it's making sure what's important to them and what are the things that they really need to see from us. So are our marketing efforts targeted at those? But that could be then, are our networking activities targeted at them? Are our business generation activities targeted at them? And the big one for me is, are our ongoing relationships targeted at them? In other words, I see a lot of people spread themselves very thinly, be all things to all people, where maybe it is about focusing on these customers that really want to work with us on our terms.
And what about added value services? Because, let's say you've got some good customers and you can see they do pay and they're doing all the right things and you enjoy working with them and they're happy with you. How do we start to assess where perhaps there are added value services where we can maximise in other ways?
Well, we talk about share of customer rather than share of market. It was actually sort of saying, of their annual spend on the sorts of things we produce or deliver, how much of it is spent with us? In other words, are they aware of the full range of products and services that we offer? Are there opportunities just to get closer to them? The other one for me is, do they have problems and issues that maybe if we could work out what those are, we could maximise the relationships? And again, we talk about problem seeking, problem solving. So what are the things that keep your customers up at night, holding them back? Work out what those things are. So again, it's making sure everything in the business is equipped to do that. But I think, again, the key thing for me is making sure that this does fit in with your overall ethos of what you're about as a business. It's not trying to be all things to all people. But even if you don't do it, do you know somebody that does, that you could refer your customers to? So that, and again, could be added value just by saying, we don't do this, but we know a good people that do.